Hello, let's talk about agent work trees. So it's pretty topical right now because a lot of folks want to be able to do this. Run multiple coding agents on the same code base locally. And if you're used to just using Git, that's not going to totally get you there in the standard maneuvers, right? So you might think we could just branch our way to success, or we could just clone our way to success. But if we just branch, then we're going to have multiple agents working on the same branch, and that's just going to be terribly chaotic, and we don't want that. At the same time, if we just make multiple clones locally, we could do that, but then that leaves a lot of management of state of those different clones locally, and we have to rectify that with what's on our remote in the cloud. It would be nice just to have a local source of truth. And so instead of doing either one of those, our approach is going to be that we use Git worktree instead. And so with Git worktree, we get a file system isolation, but we also get one canonical Git repo to work against locally. So let's check out our repo layout here. This is kind of new. What we would normally expect is that we just have a repo and that's it. It's just one directory, but instead we're going to have a container folder that contains the canonical repo, the clone, and then we'll have multiple work trees sitting next to it. So over here in my terminal, you can see I have the beginnings of that. I have an agent-worktrees directory, and then inside of that, I have arbitrarily named directory. It's just called repo. If we go into that, we'll see that it's a Git repo and it has index.html and script.js. We can look at the index.html, which is just a scaffold, and same for script. And there's not even anything in there. That's a job for our agents. So we're going to go check that out next. Here's our workflow. We're going to do a little bit of setup first, then we're going to run some agent commands, and then once they're done working, we'll merge the work in. So for the setup commands, we just kind of have to come in here and grab these. So I'm in my repo still. And what we're going to do is run the command git worktree add. It's going to go up a level and make a new directory called agent-a. And then it's going to put that directory's git onto a branch called feature UI. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we're also going to make a different worktree that similarly makes an agent-b directory and a branch called feature.js. In our canonical repo, which is where we're sitting right now in the terminal, we can run git branch and see that it's actually made those branches right here in the repo, but it hasn't changed the content of the files in any way. Instead, we'll cd up a level and ls there, and you can see those new agent-specific directories we've made at the same level as our canonical repo. So what we'll do now is get into making the agent commands. So I'm just moving, let's see. So I'm going to cd into agent A's directory. And I've pre-prepared a command, and we'll talk briefly about it in a moment, but I just want to get it working because we know that agents take a moment to get their job done. So I'm going to do the same thing with agent B. And here we go, get that one working as well. So what I've done here is I've used the OpenAI codex command, the CLI, to just ask it to do the work of building out the HTML file, and it's done that. This is on agent A, so let's just have a look. I had asked it only to modify HTML, and it obeyed that command. So we're gonna do git add, and then we'll commit that and just call for commit message, we'll do UI. Over on the script side, same thing. So it's completed its work. Let's check out and see. Yes, it only modified JavaScript. Thank you for obeying the instructions. And so we'll go ahead and add that. And we're just YOLO committing here, aren't we? But we're going to say that we implemented the counter, which is what I asked it to do. Cool. And now we're done with the agents. And all we have to do from there is move back into, we've done the commits, and we move back into our canonical repo. And we're just going to merge like we would merge a branch. So we'll say git merge, and we'll do agent. Nope, that's not what the branches were called. They were feature, and we're going to merge UI first, and then we'll go ahead and YOLO merge this one too. Merge feature, and then this one's JavaScript. So oops, we're going to say yes to that. And then after that, let's do the moment of truth. Let's see if this thing actually worked. Earlier, this is what our HTML file looked like before the agents did their jobs, and then we'll reload and see if it actually increments. And Wow, it does. Okay, so that's getting two agents to work side by side on different tasks. And our main takeaway is this: work trees make parallel agent work safer through isolation, reversibility, and having a single source of truth. So thanks for checking out this video on using Git work trees for running agents in parallel.